Okay, folks, I'm under the truck. This is the air dryer. This is the canister that you should replace in the wintertime. I ain't worried about that right now. I just want to get this in. I was looking for the other O-ring. Can you see that? That looks like a rim of grime, but it's not. That's the O-ring. So I got to get that out of there. That's an O-ring. That's not grime. So I got to get that out of there and put the new one in there. So I get back with y'all when I get back. Ladies and gentlemen, my purge valve causing me to have a secondary air leak. My purge valve causing me to have a secondary air leak. So here's a kit I'm having to piece together. Back in the day, these things was easy, man. They was already put together. All you had to do was pull it out and push the new one in. But these days, man, you got to put everything together on there. So I thank the Creator Most High that my memory, I got it almost together. I had to make sure I remembered how it went together so that I can push this thing back up in there. Then I got to change my oil and I'm good to go. This valve cost me $140. I had a secondary air leak that kept bleeding down, and I was looking for the leak, and I crawled on there and found out after this thing purged, it continuously leaked. So if I put this thing back together, it should stop leaking. It should stop leaking, and my pressure should stop bleeding off, I hope. Overworking my air compressor on this truck because they do go bad. I know on Freightliners they go bad. Make sure your oil is topped off on your truck, because make sure that compressor getting plenty of oil. I keep hearing mine popping off every 5 minutes. So I wanted to fix that. Also, I haven't changed this oil since I've had it. It's not due for an oil change for another $10,000, but I don't know what kind of oil. They put 10W30 in there. I want to put 1540 in mine. I got Mobil Delvac 1540 I'm going to put in mine. So I'm trying to take care of this truck. Hopefully it'll take care of me. So I get back to you guys later when I get through with this. I got these snap ring pliers right here. They universal. These Pittsburgh Harbor Freight snap ring pliers. These universal, you can flip them around. These, I stuck them down in there. Here's the old one. Stuck them down in there. Stuck it down in there, squeezed on it, and the whole assembly came out, and you squeeze back on it and push it in. But these can be flipped around so that when you squeeze, they open up. These Pittsburgh, you can get these at Harbor Freight, but I got other ones too now. But these Harbor Freight, you can get them at Harbor Freight, man. Shouldn't cost too much money to do this job here. It's not as hard as I thought it was. I was worried I wasn't going to assemble it right, but I just took my time and assembled it right. I got all kind of snap ring pliers. These Pittsburgh too. That damn Harbor Freight. Thank God for Harbor Freight. And to think, I got all these freaking snap ring pliers, and I was going to go buy some instead of drive all the way to Fort Worth. 30 minutes. I'm glad I just drove 30 minutes to Fort Worth. Shit. Now I got to change my oil. I'll holler at y'all later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's in there. I got the snap ring. You need some snap ring pliers to get this thing in there. I got it in there. It went up. The snap ring went up halfway because it's spring pressure backing it up. Well, I got the spring, I got it in there halfway, and I got this little small wrench right here. It kind of tapped around it until it seated itself all the way in there. I wanted to make sure it's seated good. It looked kind of like that when it's seated. Make sure it's seated good so that son of a bitch won't spit itself out. I'm going down the damn highway. I can't test it yet because I'm fixing to change my oil now, so I'll test it later. We're just gonna hope this motherfucker do what it's supposed to do. You know what I'm talking about? I think I did a good job. Now I'm fixing to change my oil and I'll be done for tonight. All right, folks. I'm putting this one on. This is the old one. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna be done soon. I'm under the truck. That's the one leaking. The old one, that's the old one. That's the new one. I'm putting it on under the truck right now. Well, folks, I just got through putting this air dryer on. Hopefully this solves my leak problem. I replaced the purge valve on this one. The only difference I've seen in the two, this one got the Wabco sticker, and this other one, the place where the Wabco tab is just blank. That's the only difference I've seen in there. So, parts place I went to, mom and pop shop, were the only people that had it. So we're gonna see how this works. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a few clips of me putting my air dryer on. It's night here. Air dryer, my air leak blues. I replaced the purge valve. That was $140. Air dryer was still leaking. I read somewhere that said the air filter canister, if you replace that, that'll stop the purge valve from leaking. What it was doing, it'll purge, and after it purges, it's still leaking. But they say if you replace the canister, which was $40, that it may stop leaking. But I didn't want to spend $40 on the canister because that looked like the original air dryer that's been on this truck for the 5 years of its life. So I said I'd just rather put a new one on there than try that. You know, I got me a aftermarket one from mom and pop shop. Cost me $270. It looked just like the brand name. It just didn't have Wabco stamped on there, which means it's probably the same part. You know, the exact same part. It's just as they would call, it's probably the same part, just without the sticker, made by the same people, you know. But anyway, so I put that air dryer on there. The air dryer stopped leaking. My pressure's good, but I got a leak somewhere else. I got a leak on the engine somewhere. I sprayed it down a little bit. I found one leak, and then there's this other thing on the side of the engine. It has a lot of air lines going to it. I need to find out exactly what that thing is. But I'm doing okay. Truck is doing okay. I got plenty of air pressure. Compressor's working good. I got good pressure. Another problem I had, I said on another video, I got an oil leak on my transmission, but it's just dripping. The truck's doing fine. After every stop, I noticed that when I left Dallas this Monday, and where did I get? How far did I get? I forgot how far. I got up in Missouri somewhere and happened to look under and see it was leaking. Then I finally figured out what was going on, exactly what was going on, and it's leaking from two little pressure lines from the oil cooler on that transmission under there. It scared me half to death. But it's just barely dripping. I got plenty of oil. I done opened it and checked it. There's plenty of oil in there. When I pull the fuel plug out, the oil is running out. So it's full. And after every load, I'm checking it. So, but when I get home, that's going to be my last stop. I already got those lines ordered, and I'm going to put them bad boys on when I get home. So I won't have to worry with that anymore. That'll be good. Let me tell you, man, thank God I know how to do a little bit. You know what they said? Brookings Mac Volvo said the labor on that is $700 plus parts. I think the total is either $700 plus parts or $700 total. I think it was about $700. They probably would have said about $750 or close to $800 when it was done, said and done. But the parts is to buy the parts is $200, and if I do it myself, shit, I'd rather do it myself. The parts is $200. I put them on, top that oil off, and do it myself. I won't have to worry about it, So that's what I'm gonna do. It's good money up here where I'm at. I couldn't find a load going to Georgia. I don't like going no more than about 1,100 miles out. I like going 800, 900 miles out, I like going to Georgia and coming back, but I end up going to Chicago and coming back. And they got good loads up here, man. They got good loads up here, So I'm learning where I want to go. Chicago, about 900 miles from DFW. So I can go up there and come back. I don't know how it's going to be in the winter. How the money's going to be in the winter, I don't know. But because Lowe's is tight, people don't like to go up north. If I can't get no good loads, because they got a lot of drivers, I don't know how it's going to be. But if it get too bad, I'll park this truck and do Uber Lyft if I have to, and let the other guys deal with that ice. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm a good winter driver. I was a winter driver for 8 years on an account I was working on JB Hunt before. I did Oklahoma. I'm a good winter driver. What I do when the winter is driving, I drive in the daytime when the salt truck's out. At night, I don't move, because that's when shit freezes up. You drive in the daytime, you got a better chance of making it. After the salt truck people get up, put their clothes on, they done had their breakfast, and they get in that truck and they get a slanging that salt around. If you got to drive, that's when you drive in the daytime. Shit, I don't drive at night. Not if it's below freezing and it's any kind of precipitation on the road. Well, folks, this Gorilla Wayne signing out. I pack my food. Shit, I like eating beans and hot dogs out here on the road. The beans is good. It's good for you. And the hot dogs is too, and chips. I'll holler at y'all. Shit, I'm finna do this 10. Get up and start rolling again. I'm gonna get under that truck, check that transmission. Nothing's dripping on the ground. It drips a little when I'm rolling, but just sitting, it don't drip. But it's okay, because I got 2 quarts of transmission oil under this bunk. That motherfucker get low, I'm gonna fill it up, and I get some more quarts. Now, if the hoses explode on my ass, I'm gonna be in bad shape. But I know the Creator in heaven ain't gonna let that happen. I'm trying to get back home quick as I can, but I don't want to deadhead too far home. But when I get back, I'm shutting this motherfucker down till I get those hoses replaced. So I'll holler at y'all later. Mercy, grace, blessings to all y'all out there in YouTube land, and Creator Ride Shotgun with us truck drivers here cut shit, because we need it. I'll holler at y'all.